A lossless mobile DAC and headphone amp? Let's check this out. Dave Taylor here, and in this box is the QueStyle M15 mobile lossless DAC and amp. It lets you plug wired headphones like these into your Android, your iPhone, your tablet, really your computer, any device that doesn't have a 3.5mm jack, or even ones that do, but that you want better sound from. So let's open the box and see what's inside. So this is the upgrade to the QueStyle M12, which I have already reviewed here on YouTube. You can check that out. And let's see, got this, and they are careful about making sure it stays sealed. And see if I can get this all cut without any untoward experience. And there we go. All right, so in the box is a welcome note that looks like it's in Chinese, but luckily it's in a lot of languages. Let's see if we can find English in this mix. There's a lot of options here. Here we go. M15 mobile lossless DAC with headphone amplifier. So clearly international packaging, which I always find kind of fun. I don't know that there's anything in here that's critical, so let's keep looking. Here's the warranty card. And then, oh yeah, here is the QueStyle M15, and it is famous for having a transparent surface so you can see the circuitry inside, which I think is phenomenally cool. Let me give you a close-up so you can see what it looks like. It's pretty cool looking actually, but that's not all that's in the box. So let's see what else is there. There's another little pull thing. So we can pull the DAC out, and now you can see the dimensions. It's actually about the size of an old pack of gum. And the surface that you can see through feels like it's glass or a really tough plastic. And the rest of it is actually a brushed aluminum, and it has a really nice hand feel to it. Let me go ahead and give you some close-ups so you can see. On one side is the gain control, and you can switch between high and low, or just leave it on low if you prefer. And then on one end are the 4.4mm and 3.5mm audio jacks. On the other side, there's nothing, and on the bottom is a USB-C connection. That's how you connect it with your audio source. On the front, it has the branding, and it's very attractive. And on the back, of course, is that clear view of everything going on inside the unit. So, really cool looking unit. I mean, they have definitely got a great idea by having it be visible on one side. But what else is in the box? Well, there are two cables. So this is USB-C to USB-C, and that's going to work really well with things like Android phones and computers. And then USB-C to USB-A, the rectangle, and that'll work with older computers. So if I take something like this, which is the Google Pixel 6 Pro, it has USB-C on the bottom, so I can just plug it in. And then I can plug in the DAC directly because you don't need any drivers or anything special. And now if I plug in my headphones, the music that the Android will play will come through the M15. I could do the same, obviously, with a computer. And then if you want to use it with an iPhone, it's completely compatible, but you'll need to BYOC or bring your own cable. So this is an example of what you would need with Lightning on one end and USB-C on the other. And let me clarify that this is not included. This is a separate purchase. You can buy it from QueStyle for a modest cost, or you can go on somewhere like Amazon and you can find hundreds of companies that make these cables. You want to get a really high quality one because you don't want any signal loss when you're actually feeding the music to the DAC and amplifier, so it's going to give you the best possible sound. So, third-party solution, easily done. Now, let me give you some specs on this. Let me unplug it again. So, it is a total harmonic distortion of, let me get this right, 0.0003%, which means that I don't care how good your ears are, you're not going to hear any distortion on this at all. None. That is basically zero as far as I'm concerned. And it has bandwidth up to 1,000 kilohertz. There's a lot it can do because it has 4 separate amplifier circuits. And it's powered by the ESS, let me get this right, ES9281AC processor, which is like the state-of-the-art DAC processor. It just has a ridiculous amount of power and capabilities. And the 3.5 millimeter connection is what's known as a TRS, or unbalanced connection. That's probably what most of you will use. But if you have 4.4 millimeter balanced TRRS headphones, it can work with those directly too. Balanced headphones are probably going to sound better, but they're a lot harder to get a hold of, and they're really more at the audiophile level. So what I have here for my tests, these are the Beyerdynamic T90s. These are these classic headphones that I've had for a long time. I really love them. And what do they have on the end? They have, you guessed it, a 3.5 millimeter jack. So that's how I'll be hooking this up for testing. Now, it has a little LED on it, and I can't see where that is without plugging it in and turning it on, which we're going to do in just a second. But the LED gives you feedback on how the amp is being used and how the DAC is being used. So if the light is green, then the audio sample you're giving it is 48 kilohertz or less. So that's basically what you get off of most streaming services like Pandora or Spotify. If it's red, then you're getting a PCM signal 88.2 kilohertz up to 384 kilohertz, or a DSD 256 signal, and that's going to be really good. That's going to be what you're going to probably get from the higher quality audio. But what you really want is you want that light to turn magenta, because then it means it's an MQA core stream, and MQA is master quality assured, and it basically means you're taking a really big bandwidth signal, but you're getting a huge amount of audio data, which this is then converting and amplifying and pushing to your headphones to give you the best possible audio experience. And what this means in reality, or in practical terms, is that if you have mediocre headphones, they're going to sound good. If you have good headphones, they're going to sound really good. And if you have really good headphones, you're just going to be blissing out because they're going to sound fantastic. It's going to be an audiophile experience in a mobile environment where you just have your phone and this little gizmo and your favorite headphones, and you're going to just be really happy at how well it sounds. So this supports ALAC, FLAC, MQA, and it supports services like Tidal and Qobuz, which are MQA, or master quality level audio signals. So it's basically like a Spotify, but with much higher quality audio. Pretty cool stuff. Now, as I said, this can work with Android or Windows or iPhone or a Mac. So whatever you got, if you want it to sound a lot better, this little tiny device that's about the size of a pack of gum is going to give you great results. Now, that's everything in the box. So it's the 2 cables and the instructions and the warranty and the actual, and the actual device. So now we have it all. I am going to hook it up and I will check it out. So hook it up USB-C, and then I will plug in some headphones. And the first thing we should be able to see once I give it a signal, and I'm going to just go to Qobuz because I might as well start with a really high quality signal, right? So I will go there and play some music. And this signal is a high-res 96 kilohertz. And okay, now you can see those big bright lights. So the red light means that I'm actually getting a PCM signal, and this is probably a PCM 96 kilohertz signal. Hang on, I'm going to put my headphones on just to sort of experience it. And these are great old headphones. I really like them. Oh, I can't. You can't hear this, but what I can tell you is that, well, first off, I better pause. What I can tell you is that it sounds beautiful. It is a big, rich sound with a enormous sound stage. It really, I'm listening to some violin solo from some concerto or something, and it sounds like I'm in the actual symphony hall. I mean, it's that big and bright a signal, and the bass was nice, and the highs weren't overly bright. It was just a, you know, sort of a rich, strong, music-forward sort of signal. And I'm going to listen to a little bit more, just because I'm giving you live my music response. So let's go to another track. Okay, so this is classical guitar. And it is just a really rich and strong signal. The audio just sounds really, really lovely. And this one again, so now we have two green lights. So this is an older track, so it obviously isn't encoded in PCM or DSD. That's how it goes with these tracks, right? If you listen to just MQA, you're going to have a very limited library because there's a lot of music that isn't encoded at that level yet. But I can tell you that anything you're going to listen to is going to just sound so much richer. And that's really, I guess that would be the word I would use to describe this. It is a big, expansive sound, and it sounds like I'm literally sitting with my head just a couple of feet from this guitar player, and that he's playing some classical guitar, and it's just like, wow, this is, I can't really focus on anything else. I just have to listen to the music. So better pause this before I'm too distracted, but suffice to say, it's really, really a great experience. And I have to say also, I love the transparent side. I love the design. It's just really interesting. And notice when I plugged this in and turned it on, I didn't have to go to an EQ. I didn't have to make any settings or changes on the device or on the actual DAC amp. I just plugged everything in, plugged in my headphones, pressed play, and just started enjoying the music. And that's really important, because I think some people look at these sort of devices and they're intimidated because, well, it's a complex bunch of circuitry. How is this going to be something I can manage and deal with? And the answer is you don't have to do anything. Just plug it in and enjoy it. And again, I couldn't listen to these T90s with either this Android phone or with my iPhone 13 Pro. Neither of them have a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Kind of an annoying thing. But if I have to do something anyway to be able to enjoy my favorite headphones, I might as well use something like a DAC and get a far better signal. So that's all I've got. I really like this thing. I'm definitely going to be using it and enjoying it, whether I'm using Tidal or Qobuz, or even if I'm just using Spotify, or honestly just listening to a YouTube video or something. Everything's going to sound better because that's what this thing does. Very, very nice. So we do need to talk about the price, but before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click or tap on that subscribe button and then turn on notifications so you know when I post new content, because I do that pretty darn frequently, and we're connected. Excellent. This, I can flip it over this way. This is the QueStyle M15 mobile lossless DAC amp for headphones, and it is $249 at QueStyleShop.com. You can also find it on Amazon if you want to look there. It is a cherry of a device. It is very nice. It is something that if you want to actually really enjoy all the music you listen to, then this is the way to do it. Definitely one worth checking out. That's all I got. I'll hope to catch you in my next video.